Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome, everyone, to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm Joey Harris, your host, coming to you from makeshift studios deep in the heart of stately Maine Manor. You can follow the show's Twitter at Cup of Joe Pod. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. And jello again, folks, as I channel my inner Jack Benny. I hope you all have had a fantastic week. I did not have that great of a week. It was okay, but I had a 24-hour virus that made me think that I had COVID again. We got a rare snow day at work, and I couldn't even enjoy that. But thankfully, negative COVID test, and I was over it in a little over 24 hours. So didn't even get to enjoy my snow day. Had to spend it recovering and sleeping. But regardless of that, let's get right into it today because we have a long show today. A lot of notes, but an interesting show. Very intriguing thing that happened in this show. Let's talk about it. Today we look at Vengeance 2011 from the WWE. Vengeance 2011 was shown on pay-per-view on October the 23rd, 2011 from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. That was my dad's birthday, and he was on a cruise at the time. There were 8,000 in attendance, and the show did 121,000 buys. We open on the dictionary definition of vengeance: infliction of punishment in return for a wrong committed, retribution. Then an intro showing Triple H being removed as Chief Operations Officer, John Cena being locked out of the cell, and everything that has happened between Mark Henry and The Big Show. It also shows the Miz and R-Truth being reinstated. Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Booker T welcome us to Vengeance. They are our announcers for the evening. WWE Tag Team Championship match: Air Boom, Evan Bourne, and Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Vicky Guerrero comes and introduces Swagger and Ziggler. Carlos Cabrera and Marcelo Rodriguez from the Spanish announce team are introduced. Kingston and Ziggler start. Kingston with a waistlock. Ziggler with an elbow to get out of the move as the Kofi chant goes out. Ziggler gets Kofi down by pulling his hair. Kingston reverses into a hammerlock. Ziggler with a reversal. Ziggler with a side headlock takeover. Kingston pushes off. Ziggler comes back with a shoulder block. Ziggler runs the ropes. Kingston with a couple of leapfrogs to avoid him. Kingston finally catches Ziggler with a back elbow. Kingston monkey flips Ziggler out of the corner. Gets a 2 count. Kingston with a front face lock. Bourne tagged in. He hits Ziggler with a drop kick. He gets a 2 count. Swagger tagged in and Bourne ducks a clothesline and counters into a pinning predicament for a 2 count. Bourne attacks Swagger's knee with kicks. Kingston tagged in. Bourne holds Swagger against the ropes for Kingston to come off of the top rope with a stomp. He gets a 2 count. He gets Swagger in the face corner and tags Bourne back in. Air Boom stomps Swagger down and delivers a double baseball slide to Swagger. Bourne gets a 2 count. Kingston tagged back in. Air Boom with a double bulldog maneuver to Swagger. Kingston with a forearm shot to Swagger. Swagger reverses a corner whip, but Kingston catches him with a back elbow on the charge in. Kingston with a reverse crossbody, but gets caught by Swagger. Swagger with a big slam. Ziggler tagged in. He gets a 1 count. Ziggler with a standing dropkick. He gets a 2 count. Ziggler with an armbar submission on Kingston. Kingston gets back to his feet. Ziggler drives Kingston down to the mat by his head. Swagger tagged in. He gets a snap mare on Kingston. Swagger with a headlock. Kingston with a takeover and tags Bourne in. Bourne with a Hurricane Rana and kicks to Swagger. He hits the big knee to Swagger's face. He knocks Ziggler off of the apron. Swagger ducks a kick from Bourne, who then nails Swagger with the reverse kick. He gets a 2 count. Bourne goes for airborne, but Ziggler goes to knock him off of the apron, so Bourne just stomps down. Bourne drop kicks Swagger into Ziggler, knocking Ziggler off of the apron. Bourne goes for airborne again, but Swagger gets his knees up. Ziggler tagged in as a Vicky Sucks chant goes out. Ziggler gets a 2 count as Kingston comes in to break up the cover. Ziggler with forearm shots to Bourne. Ziggler with a front face lock chicken wing on as Bourne is pushing to tag Kingston in. Bourne breaks the hold and rolls Ziggler up for a 2 count. Ziggler counters. He gets a 2 count. Ziggler with a running clothesline. That gets another 2 count. Ziggler pushing Bourne's throat down on the bottom rope as he tags Swagger in. Swagger keeps kicking Bourne. Swagger hits a Swagger bomb. He gets another 2 count. Swagger with a front face lock. Bourne trying to push back to his corner as the crowd tries to get into it by clapping for Bourne. A forearm by Swagger knocks Bourne down, and Swagger goes after Kingston on the apron, but Kingston blocks the shot and punches Swagger into a roll-up by Bourne for a 2 count. Swagger goes for the ankle lock, and Bourne flips him around and out of the ring. Ziggler gets in the ring, prompting the referee to come over to try to get him out, allowing Swagger to pull Kingston off of the apron before Bourne could tag him. Swagger drags Bourne over to the heels corner and tags in Ziggler. Ziggler stomping Bourne while Kingston tries to stop it and gets cut off by the referee. Ziggler hits a neck breaker on Bourne. Swagger tagged in. He stomps down on Bourne. Bourne tries to come back with kicks, but Swagger grabs his leg. Swagger with a scoop slam. Swagger goes for another Swagger bomb, but Bourne gets his knees up. Both Ziggler and Kingston tagged in. Kingston unloading on Ziggler. Kingston with a standing drop kick. Ziggler blocks a move, but misses a corner charge when Kingston moves and hits him with a Pele kick. He then kicks Swagger on the apron when he comes over. Kingston kicks Ziggler again. Kingston with a big crossbody to Ziggler for a close 2 count. Kingston hits the boom drop. Ziggler ducks the Trouble in Paradise, but Kingston hits the SOS. Swagger comes in for the save, but hits Ziggler when Kingston moves. Kingston goes for Trouble in Paradise, but Swagger grabs his ankle and starts to apply the ankle lock. Bourne climbs up top and hits double knees to Swagger. Ziggler gets a 2 count with a handful of tights. Kingston hits Trouble in Paradise and tags Bourne in. Bourne hits airborne and gets the pin. WWE United States Championship match. Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder. Ziggler has to defend his title right after the previous match. Ziggler misses a clothesline. Ryder pounds Ziggler. Ryder with an Irish whip and a double axe handle to Ziggler. He gets a 1 count. Ryder with a headbutt. Ryder with a corner whip, and Ziggler hits the turnbuckle and does the Curt Hennig Memorial selling job. Ryder gets a 2 count. Ziggler with a kick to the stomach and a Rick Rude-style neckbreaker. I will call Ziggler Mr. Minnesota with all the tributes, but I think Jerry Lynn had that gimmick for a short time in 2001. But I digress. A Let's Go Ryder chant goes out. Ryder reverses an Irish whip and hits a clothesline. Ziggler bails to the outside. Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston, and Jack Swagger have all stayed for the match. Ziggler starts to climb back up the ramp, but Air Boom grabs him and throws him back in the ring. Vicky Guerrero complains, and the referee throws Air Boom out. As they leave, a Vicky Sucks chant goes out. Ryder with a series of running forearms to Ziggler. Ziggler with an Irish whip and a flapjack. He gets a 2 count. Ryder goes for a crossbody, but Ziggler moves and Ryder hits the ropes. Both men down. Ziggler stomps Ryder in the head. A Let's Go Ryder chant goes out again. Ziggler drops an elbow on Ryder for a 2 count. Ziggler with a shoulder lock, camel clutch combo on Ryder. He then drops an elbow on Ryder's back. He gets another 2 count. Ziggler with a corner splash on Ryder. He misses the second splash attempt. Ryder goes for a big kick to Ziggler's head, but Ziggler moves, and Ryder ends up in the ropes. Ziggler hits the Famouser on Ryder. He gets a 2 count. Ziggler attacking Ryder with punches and kicks in the corner. Ziggler goes for the charge, but Ryder gets his knees up. Ryder hits the running kick on Ziggler. Swagger grabs Ryder's leg to pull him out of the ring, but Ryder kicks off. Ziggler goes for a jumping backbreaker, but Ryder holds on to the ropes. Ryder then kicks Swagger away when he tries to hit Ryder again. Ziggler hits a super kick. Ziggler gets the pin. CM Punk is shown talking to Ted DiBiase Jr. backstage when Triple H comes in and asks if he can talk to Punk. Triple H says he wants to clear the air about this past Monday. Punk says he understands. 5 years ago, even 5 months ago, he would have thought that Triple H was trying to screw him, but he now sees that someone else is pulling the strings. Triple H says, good, then we can forego the usual rah-rah speech. Punk says, no, you got a good rah-rah speech for me? Triple H says, not really. That's why I was hoping we could skip it. Punk says, that's fine. I don't have the time anyway. Listen, Miz and R-Truth say when you were running Raw, it was an unsafe working environment. I would like to prove them wrong. I would like to show them that now it's an unsafe working environment. Triple H says that he's with that. Let's do it. WWE Divas Championship match. Beth Phoenix versus Eve Torres. They showed earlier in the day Natalya attacking Kelly as she was answering questions for WWE.com. As a result, both Kelly and Natalya are banned from ringside. The bell rings and they attack each other. They get to the corner, and the referee is forced to break them apart. Eve had been placed on the top turnbuckle. She hits Phoenix with a knee to the face as she comes in. Eve climbs up to the top rope and sunset flips Phoenix. She gets a 2 count. Phoenix with an Irish whip and a double axe handle to Eve. She gets a 2 count, but Eve bridges out of the pin. Another cover and another bridge out. Eve up to her feet. She puts the wrist lock on Phoenix and attacks her with kicks to the legs. Phoenix pushes Eve to the ropes. Phoenix with an Irish whip. Eve spins over Phoenix when she drops her head early. Phoenix grabs Eve's leg. Eve hits Phoenix with an enziguri. Eve takes part of Phoenix's outfit and ties her to the ropes with it. Eve kicks Phoenix in the back while she is still tied up. Phoenix finally gets loose, and Eve hits her with a running forearm. Phoenix rolls to the outside. Eve goes after her, and Phoenix trips Eve on the apron. Phoenix military presses Eve and drops her down on the barricade. Phoenix then kicks Eve in the stomach. Phoenix runs Eve into the ring. She then drags Eve into the ring. She gets a 2 count. Phoenix with a rear chin lock. Eve won't give up. Eve with a series of elbows to try to get out of the move. Eve gets out and hits the kick to Phoenix. Phoenix catches Eve and drives her shoulder into Eve's stomach. Gets a 2 count. Phoenix is getting frustrated. She gets Eve in a leg scissors. Eve won't give up. Phoenix screaming at Eve to cry. Phoenix smacking Eve's back. Eve hitting elbows to Phoenix to try to get out of the hold. Eve switches around and starts punching Phoenix down on the mat. A series of kicks then to Phoenix as they both get back to their feet. Then Eve with a clothesline. Eve with a sit-down backsplash on Phoenix for a 2 count. Eve with a series of forearms to Phoenix on the ropes. Phoenix reverses an Irish whip. Eve holds on to the ropes. Phoenix charges Eve, who hits Phoenix with a back elbow. Eve climbs up with a leg vice on Phoenix. Phoenix trying to spin around to shake Eve off. Eve grabs an arm and forces Phoenix down to her knees. She then gets her down to the mat. Phoenix panicking, trying to get out of the hold. Phoenix pushing with her legs, trying to get to the ropes. Phoenix on the apron, trying to get back to her feet. Eve grabs her and runs her into the turnbuckle. Phoenix grabs Eve by the hair and guillotines her on the top rope. Back in, Phoenix picks Eve up and goes for the glam slam. Eve rolls through, though, and pushes Phoenix off. Phoenix hits the ropes and bounces off, and Eve rolls her up for a 2 count. Phoenix gets up and kicks and punches Eve. Phoenix with a corner whip. Eve hits Phoenix with a back elbow when she tries to charge in. Eve with a back kick, and Phoenix just falls to the floor. Eve goes up and moonsaults off, but Phoenix moves. Phoenix picks Eve up and hits the glam slam. Phoenix then gets the pin. Matt Striker interviews The Big Show. Striker says Mark Henry put Big Show on the shelf for 3 months. He's only had 1 match to get ready for tonight. The question on everyone's mind, is he prepared? Big Show says, why don't you ask Mark Henry if he is prepared? Mark Henry thought he had taken everything away from The Big Show, cut his career short. He thought he had ended any chances of Big Show becoming a champion again. He thought he was just going to be a giant bust, hanging in the Hall of Pain. Mark Henry found out the hard way that bigger isn't better. Better is better. It took Mark Henry 15 years to win his first world title, 3 seconds to end 15 years of bitterness, 3 seconds to end 15 years of failure. It will take the same 3 seconds for Big Show to take away that heavyweight championship and watch Mark Henry's Hall of Pain crumble like a house of cards. See, Mark Henry is going to experience what the Big Show has experienced the last 3 months. He's going to experience a man who is going to take away everything he's expected his whole life, everything that he has strived for, everything that has defined him as a man. He then says, "Vengeance will be mine. So will the World Heavyweight Championship." That was a money promo right there by the Big Show. Christian versus Sheamus. They show highlights of what has happened between the two men the last few weeks. Christian rolls to the outside when Sheamus comes into the ring. He takes his time getting in the ring. The bell rings and Christian slaps Sheamus. Christian gets Sheamus in the corner and hits him with several slaps. Sheamus pushes Christian down and hits him with a knee to the stomach. Then a forearm knocks Christian down. He then drops a knee on Christian. Sheamus with a scoop slam. Sheamus goes to drop an elbow, but Christian moves. Christian with a slap. He charges Sheamus, who shoulder blocks Christian to the ground. Sheamus unloads on Christian with punches in the corner. He then stomps him to the ground. Sheamus picks Christian up and hits him with a forearm. Sheamus with an Irish whip, but Christian slides under Sheamus's legs to avoid the blow. He hits Sheamus with his right hand. Christian with a side headlock. Sheamus picks Christian up and puts him on the apron. Sheamus then hits Christian's chest with several forearms. Sheamus with a standing suplex on Christian. He keeps him up for a bit before slamming him down. He gets a 2 count. Sheamus with a shot and an Irish whip. He drops his head early and Christian kicks him in the face. Christian with a shot to Sheamus's knee. Christian with a swinging neck breaker. Christian with another reverse neck breaker. Christian stomping Sheamus while he is down. He then starts slapping Sheamus again when he is down. They trade shots. Christian is trying to keep Sheamus down. Christian with a foot on Sheamus's neck while his head is on the bottom rope. A "Let's Go Sheamus" chant goes out, and Sheamus gets up and rams his shoulder into Christian's midsection in the corner. He does it several times, then backs up to run into Christian, but Christian moves, and Sheamus's shoulder hits the post. Christian rolls Sheamus up with a handful of tights, but only gets a 2 count. Christian with a chin lock. He then drives an elbow into Sheamus's neck. He then does it several more times, driving Sheamus down into the mat. Christian goes back to a headlock on Sheamus. Sheamus gets up with Christian on his back. Sheamus then falls back and slams Christian to the mat. Sheamus rushes Christian, who gets a drop toe hold on Sheamus, who lands headfirst on the ropes. Christian steps on Sheamus's back. Christian goes outside and slaps Sheamus in the face. Christian goes to the second rope and hits Sheamus with a back elbow as he comes in. Christian hooks the leg, but only gets a 1 count. Christian goes to the second rope. He hits Sheamus with a drop kick. Christian goes up top. He goes to splash Sheamus, but Sheamus moves. Sheamus hits Christian with a running forearm. Then a clothesline to Christian. Scoop slam to Christian. He goes to charge Christian in the corner, but Christian gets his knee up on the charge. Christian comes off the second rope on Sheamus, who catches Christian and hits Christian with a fallaway slam. He gets a 2 count. Christian goes out to the apron. Sheamus goes to suplex him back in. Christian blocks it and guillotines Sheamus on the top rope. Christian gets up on the apron. Sheamus goes to rush him. Christian drops and pulls the rope down, and Sheamus spills to the outside. Sheamus gets back up on the apron and hits Christian with a shoulder tackle. He gets a 2 count. Sheamus pressures Christian, who slips out of it. He slaps Sheamus. Christian blocks Sheamus's kick and hits a death drop for a 1 count. Christian goes for the kill switch. Sheamus blocks it and goes for a powerbomb. Christian slips out and moves as Sheamus goes for the corner charge. Christian goes for a Pele kick up against the ropes, but Sheamus catches his legs. He slams Christian down and drives his knee into Christian's throat. He gets a 2 count. Christian blocks a move and goes for the kill switch. Sheamus reverses it and goes for the Celtic cross. Christian slips out. Sheamus with a corner charge, but Christian moves. Christian then hits a Pele kick, then another one. Christian goes for a reverse crossbody, but Sheamus catches him and hits the Irish curse backbreaker for another 2 count. Sheamus sets up for the brogue kick, but Christian hits him with a spear. He gets a close 2 count. Sheamus goes out on the apron, and he and Christian exchange blows. Sheamus with a knee to Christian's face. Sheamus goes up top, but Christian pushes him, and Sheamus posts himself on the top turnbuckle. Christian then slaps Sheamus several times. Christian hurricanrana Sheamus off the top rope. Christian sets up for the spear. He goes for it, but Sheamus hits the brogue kick and gets the pin. That was a fun little match. David Otunga is shown talking to John Laurinaitis. Otunga tells Laurinaitis that this is a big deal. His first pay-per-view as the interim general manager of Raw. Laurinaitis says it sure is, and it's vengeance. He says he came up with the name. Otunga says, "You did?" They are interrupted by Miz and R-Truth. Otunga leaves as Miz says they wanted to thank Laurinaitis for reinstating them. They say he is doing a much better job than Triple H. They say Raw has become a much safer and a better working environment, and he has their word that they will live up to the letter of the law. He tells them he appreciates that. R-Truth says they are curious. They heard the rumors, but wanted to know why Laurinaitis reinstated them. He says they have the greatest charisma. They are superb athletes, and he believes that they could be the world's greatest tag team of all time. Miz says, "Really?" Laurinaitis says, "Not really, but he does like the way that they suck up." He says they suck up well. He then says, "Good luck tonight." He leaves. R-Truth says, "Did you hear that?" He says, "We suck up good." Miz says, "No, he said we suck up well." R-Truth says, "Well, I suck up a lot better than you do." Miz says, "No, you most certainly do not suck up better than me." He says, "At least we don't suck like Triple H." R-Truth says, "Yeah, we may be suck-ups, but they suck." Miz says, "Yeah, Triple H sucks. He thinks he's the game." Miz starts mocking Triple H. He says, "You know who else sucks? CM Punk." He says Punk sucks so bad, Booker T says he's a sucker. Now that was funny. R-Truth says, "You know who else sucks? The state of Texas." He says he's beginning to not feel safe anymore. Miz says Punk and Triple H shouldn't feel safe. R-Truth says it sucks to be them. Highlights of what has happened with CM Punk, Triple H, Miz, and R-Truth. Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth versus Triple H and CM Punk. Awesome Truth out first, and they do the "You Suck" remix to the crowd. Punk out next. He says it's clobbering time. Triple H out to a good ovation. He looks intense. All four men are staring at each other. Punk and Miz start. Bell rings. A huge CM Punk chant goes out. They circle each other. Punk goes after Miz, who gets on the ropes, so Punk has to back up. Punk does before reaching in and smacking Miz. Referee Scott Armstrong admonishes Punk. Miz trying to stay away from Punk. He gets too close to the corner, and Triple H slaps him in the head. Punk then attacks him with punches and kicks in the corner. Punk with a snapmare. Punk with a running kick to Miz's back. Punk drags Miz to the corner, and Triple H tagged in. Miz runs and tags R-Truth in. R-Truth taunting Triple H, so Triple H turns and knocks Miz off of the apron. They lock up. Triple H with a side headlock. R-Truth pushes off. Triple H comes back with a shoulder block. R-Truth gets to the ropes and tells the referee to back Triple H up. They lock up, and Triple H hits R-Truth with a knee. Triple H with a shot and a corner whip. R-Truth jumps up to avoid the charge in. He does a split to show off, and Triple H punches him when he finished. Triple H runs R-Truth into Punk's boot. Punk tagged in. Punk with a sit-out suplex. That gets a 1 count. R-Truth with a kick to the stomach. Miz tagged in. Punk catches him in a drop toe hold. Punk runs Miz into Triple H's boot. Triple H tagged in. Double suplex on Miz. Gets a 1 count. Miz with a knee to the face. Triple H with a go behind. Triple H clips Miz's leg. Triple H with a figure 4 to Miz. Triple H grabs Punk's arm for leverage when Scott Armstrong is distracted by R-Truth. Triple H gets a 2 count. Triple H and Punk do the leverage move again when R-Truth tries to come in. Another 2 count. They keep doing it, but Miz finally gets to the ropes. Punk tagged in. Double split to Miz's legs. Punk gets a 1 count. Punk with an armbar. He and Triple H do the leverage move again. Punk with a corner whip. Miz with a back elbow on the charge in as a "You Suck" chant goes out. Punk wanders over to the wrong corner, and R-Truth hits him and knocks him down. Miz then stomping Punk down. R-Truth tagged in. R-Truth with a shot to knock Punk back down after he gets up. Gets a 1 count. R-Truth with a headlock as a CM Punk chant goes out. Punk up and gets R-Truth in a belly-to-back suplex to break the hold. A double count going. Triple H tagged in. Running knee lift to R-Truth. Triple H throws Miz into the ring. Triple H with a spine buster on R-Truth. Miz reverses an Irish whip. Triple H comes back with a knee lift. Double clothesline knocks Awesome Truth to the outside. Triple H goes out and throws R-Truth back in. Miz goes to attack Triple H, who blocks it and knocks Miz down. R-Truth with a baseball slide to knock Triple H down. Referee Scott Armstrong trying to keep R-Truth away, so Miz attacks Triple H on the outside. R-Truth goes out and slaps Triple H as he gets back to his feet. R-Truth with shots to Triple H as he is up against the barricade. R-Truth throws Triple H back in and tags Miz in. Miz stomping Triple H as a Triple H chant goes out. Armstrong pulls Miz back, so R-Truth drops down and chokes Triple H. R-Truth tagged in. Double elbow smash to Triple H. That gets a 1 count. R-Truth with a front face lock. Triple H chant goes out again. Triple H gets to his feet and trying to break the hold. Triple H with an Irish whip. R-Truth comes back with a spinning back elbow. That gets a 2 count. Miz tagged back in. Knee lifts to Triple H. Miz with a running knee lift. Another 2 count. Miz with a headlock. Triple H with shots to Miz's stomach to try to break the hold. Miz with a backbreaker neckbreaker combo. He gets a 2 count. Miz with a front face lock and R-Truth tagged back in. Double kick by the heels to Triple H's head. Gets another 2 count. R-Truth with a head scissors to Triple H. Triple H lifts up and stands with R-Truth on his shoulders. Triple H with a fallaway slam. Double count going. Miz tagged in. Triple H hits a clothesline on Miz. They both go down and another double count as a Triple H chant goes out again. R-Truth tagged in. Triple H ducks a bicycle kick. Triple H with a DDT. Both Miz and Punk tagged in. Punk with a clothesline to Miz from the top rope. More clotheslines to Miz. A drop kick to R-Truth when he comes in. Punk with a swinging neckbreaker to Miz. Punk with a high knee to R-Truth. He then grabs R-Truth and bulldogs him while he clotheslines Miz. Definitely the move of the night so far. He gets a 2 count on Miz. Punk with a scoop slam to Miz. Punk goes up top. R-Truth tries to interfere, but Punk kicks him. Triple H comes over and drags R-Truth off of the apron. He throws R-Truth over the barricade. Punk with a flying elbow drop a la Randy Savage onto Miz. Punk signals for the GTS. Triple H hits R-Truth, but gets nailed out of nowhere by Kevin Nash, who comes out of the crowd. Punk goes for the GTS, but R-Truth stops him, and R-Truth and Miz hit the Little Jimmy skull-crushing finale combo on Punk. Miz gets the pin. Nash assaulting Triple H on the outside. He runs him into the ring steps. Triple H gets in the ring. Nash follows him. He hits Triple H with some knees in the stomach. He then clotheslines Triple H and jackknife powerbombs him. Nash gets out of the ring and goes back into the crowd. Booker T yells at him, asking him why he did it. They show a replay of the attack and powerbomb as Triple H is being checked by Armstrong. The referees help Triple H to the back. John Laurinaitis is shown talking on his phone, telling the other person that he will get to the bottom of it. He's approached by Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio asks Laurinaitis if he is trying to avoid him. Laurinaitis says, "Didn't you see what just happened out there? I am the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and the Interim General Manager of Raw. I've got a lot on my plate." Del Rio tells him to wait. As WWE Champion, he should be Laurinaitis' top priority. Instead, Laurinaitis let John Cena put Del Rio in a last man standing match. He says he's never been in that match before. And do you know how much punishment John Cena can absorb? Laurinaitis tells him to calm down. Laurinaitis asks him how many Hell in a Cell matches he had been in before he walked out the WWE Champion. Del Rio says none. Laurinaitis says exactly. You went into Hell in a Cell and still found a way to win and come out WWE Champion. The same applies tonight. Laurinaitis says he gives opportunities. Tonight, Del Rio has an opportunity. Del Rio says he's right. He will find a way to win, and that's why he's the WWE Champion, and John Cena isn't. He says it's his job to the talent in the WWE Universe to make the best show possible. Del Rio then leaves, and Laurinaitis is shown texting on his phone. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Rhodes is the Intercontinental Champion, but this is a non-title match. They show what has led up to the match. Orton out first to a great ovation. Rhodes comes out with his bagmen. The bell rings and they circle each other, and Rhodes trying to stay away from Orton. Rhodes with a single leg grab. Orton punches him in the face. Orton with a clothesline. Rhodes reverses a corner whip and goes to bulldog Orton, but Orton pushes off. Orton clotheslines Rhodes to the outside. Orton runs Rhodes headfirst into the ring steps. Back in, Rhodes goes to hit Orton with a knee from the second rope, but Orton ducks and clotheslines Rhodes. He gets a 1 count. Rhodes slips out of the ring and pushes Orton's throat down on the second rope when he tries to follow. Rhodes back in and stomping Orton while he is down. Rhodes with a front suplex. Rhodes with a second rope knee drop to Orton. Rhodes stomping Orton while he is down again. Rhodes punches and kicks Orton while he is in the corner. Rhodes with an Irish whip and a knee to the gut of Orton. Then an elbow to Orton's head. Orton coming back with a right hand to Rhodes' face. Orton pushes Rhodes into the corner. Rhodes coming out with a clothesline. He gets a 2 count. Rhodes with a headlock. Orton tries to get back to his feet. Orton with a backdrop. Rhodes with a standing drop kick. Gets a 2 count. Rhodes dropping knees and boots to Orton. Rhodes going for a Boston Crab. He gets it locked on. Orton trying to get out of the move. He is fighting to not tap as a Randy chant goes out. He spins over and kicks Rhodes in the face. Orton runs Rhodes into the corner. Rhodes comes out with a right hand. Rhodes with a corner whip. Orton lifts up on the charge in and rolls Rhodes up for a 2 count. Back and forth in the middle of the ring. Rhodes with a slam down of Orton. That gets a close 2 count. Rhodes moonsaults off the top rope, but Orton moves. Orton with a clothesline and then another. Orton ducks a Rhodes clothesline attempt. He power slams Rhodes. Rhodes goes up top, but Orton hits him with a standing dropkick as he comes off. He gets a 2 count. Orton with a gut wrench, but Rhodes slips out of it and hits Orton with a disaster kick. He gets a 2 count. Orton backdrops Rhodes to the apron. Orton goes for the apron DDT. Rhodes slides through the ropes to counter, but Orton counters into a backbreaker. Orton gets a 2 count. Orton with a gut wrench. Gets a 2 count. Orton puts Rhodes on the top rope. He slaps him and hits him with right hands. Rhodes headbutts Orton. He then connects with the moonsault. He gets a close 2 count. Rhodes goes to hit Orton with the knee from the second rope, but nobody home. Orton with an uppercut to Rhodes. One of the bagmen gets on the apron, and Orton knocks him off. Rhodes hits crossroads on Orton and gets a very close 2 count. Rhodes is shocked. Rhodes mocking Orton's Viper routine. Rhodes looking to go for an RKO, but Orton drop kicks him. Orton hits an apron DDT. Orton goes into his Viper routine. The other bagman gets up trying to distract Orton so Rhodes can jump in from behind, and Orton runs Rhodes into the bagman. Orton then hits the RKO and gets the pin. Orton gets on the turnbuckle to celebrate. A feature on Mark Henry winning the World Heavyweight Championship in his Hall of Pain, and the Big Show coming back to challenge Henry. World Heavyweight Championship match. Mark Henry versus the Big Show. The bell rings and they lock up immediately. Henry pushes off. They lock up again. Henry pushes Big Show back to the corner. They break. Big Show with the big right hand. He throws Henry into the corner and hits him with his left and right hands. He gets Henry down and starts stomping him. Henry rolls to the outside. Henry tells the referee to make the Big Show get back so that Henry can get back in the ring. Big Show comes over and pulls Henry back into the ring over the top rope. Big Show with a headbutt. Big Show with a super kick to Henry's jaw. Henry rolls to the outside to regroup. Henry goes over to the timekeeper to say, "Give me my title." He gets it and starts to leave. Big Show grabs him from behind as he is leaving and puts Henry back in the ring. Henry hits Big Show's leg as he was coming back through the ropes. Henry kicks Big Show down. Henry with a scoop slam to Big Show. Henry drops an elbow on Big Show. He picks Big Show's leg up and slams it down. He drops another elbow on Big Show. He then drops another elbow and Big Show is in some pain. He gets Big Show in a leg vice, but Big Show won't give up. Big Show reaching for the ropes. Henry gets back up and drops the elbow again before putting the leg vice back on. Big Show turns his body and kicks Henry to break the hold. He goes to slam Henry, but his leg gives out and Henry lands on Big Show for a 2 count. Henry with the leg lock on Big Show. Big Show kicks Henry off. A Big Show chant goes out. They stare at each other from opposite corners of the ring. Double clothesline, and both are down. Double count going. Back and forth with both men on their knees. Big Show with a series of headbutts. A couple of clotheslines to Henry, but he keeps getting back up. Big Show with a back splash in the corner. And then a shoulder block to knock Henry down. Big Show with a scoop slam. He signals for the choke slam. He choke slams Henry. That gets a 2 count. Big Show loads up the right hand, but gets kicked by Henry. Henry hits the world's strongest slam. He gets a 2 count, and the crowd can't believe all of these kickouts. Henry climbs up to the top rope, but gets caught and choke slammed off. Another 2 count. Big Show climbs up top, but gets caught by Henry and superplexed off. And the move of the night, folks. The ring collapses in an awesome-looking spot. The crowd can't believe it. Both wrestlers and the referee are down. The doctor comes down. They signal for the stretcher. The doctor says there is no way the Big Show will fit on the stretcher to get the cart. Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis come down to ringside. A Big Show chant goes out as they try to get both men out of the ring. They back the cart to the ring and ease Big Show onto it. He leaves and they go to ease Henry out of the ring, but he falls to the floor. He pushes the EMS personnel away and tells them to get away from him. Long tells Henry they are trying to help him to get him to a hospital. Henry says he doesn't need anybody's help as he keeps trying to leave the arena and falling down. Laurinaitis gets on the mic. He says they will have the WWE Championship here tonight. The announcers wonder how the match is going to happen. Flashback to what has led up to the main event. Last man standing match for the WWE Championship. Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez versus John Cena. Rodriguez is introduced. He announces Del Rio, who comes down to ringside. He looks at the destroyed ring. He argues about the ring with referee Mike Chioda, who says that there's nothing that he can do. Cena gets a big reaction when he comes out. He starts his run to the ring, but stops short when he sees the ring itself. He goes and stands next to a guy wearing a We Hate Cena shirt in a pretty funny moment. Cena gingerly steps into the ring over the broken ring ropes. Del Rio goes out of the ring. Cena looks ready and determined. A Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks chant goes out, and Cena is genuinely amused by that. The bell rings. Del Rio pushes Rodriguez into Cena, who lifts him up, and Del Rio kicks Cena. Del Rio stomping a fallen Cena. He hits Cena several times. Del Rio with a suplex. Cena starts to get back up, and Del Rio hits him with a running kick. He does it again when Cena starts to get up, and Cena falls out of the ring. Del Rio goes out after Cena and runs him into the corner post. Chioda comes out to check on Cena as the dueling chants go out again. Cena back up at 5 and crawls into the ring. Del Rio hits him with a couple of kicks. Cena back up, but Del Rio attacks him again, but this time Cena gets a backdrop on Del Rio. Cena with a scoop slam. He drops an elbow on Del Rio, then several more elbows. Chioda counting Del Rio. He's up at 4, and Cena starts punching him. Del Rio gets up and delivers a kick to Cena's back to knock him down. Del Rio with a double kick to Cena. Del Rio confers with Rodriguez as the dueling chants go out again. Del Rio with a belly-to-back suplex. Then another one. He is a man determined. Chioda counting again. Cena up at 7. He ducks a Del Rio clothesline attempt and clotheslines Del Rio. Both men down and a double count going. Both up at 4, and Cena goes for the AA. Del Rio comes back with a jumping backbreaker. Del Rio goes over to hold on to a corner post while Chioda counts Cena. Cena up at 5 and blocks a suplex attempt, but Del Rio gets it on the second attempt. Del Rio hits another one and goes for a third when Cena blocks it and hits a suplex of his own. A double count going. Dueling chant starts again. Both men up at 4 and Cena with a shoulder block. Then another one. Big slam. You can't see me. 5-knuckle shuffle. He goes for an AA, but Del Rio with an elbow to slip out of it. Del Rio with a German suplex. Cena up on the 5 count and kicks Del Rio in the stomach. Cena with a gut-wrench suplex. Chioda counting Del Rio. He's up at the 4 count. Cena misses a clothesline. Del Rio with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Del Rio kicks Cena's back. Del Rio picks Cena up on the count of 4. He punches Cena back down. He puts Cena up against one of the damaged ring posts. He double stomps down on the ring post, Cena rolling to the center of the ring. He is up on the 8 count, and Del Rio rushes him. Cena picks him up and hits the AA. Double count going. Cena up at 6. Del Rio up at 8. Cena picks Del Rio up for another AA, but Rodriguez attacks him from behind. Cena kicks Rodriguez out of the ring. Del Rio kicks Cena from behind. Del Rio tries and then locks Cena in with a sleeper and a body vice. Kyoto checks on Cena. Cena is out. Kyoto starts to count. Cena up at 8. Del Rio tries to throw him out of the ring, but Cena reverses it and throws Del Rio out. He lands up against the ropes, a double count going. Cena up at 3. Del Rio uses the barricade to pull himself up just before the count of 7. Cena comes out and runs Del Rio into the barricade again. Del Rio reverses an Irish whip and runs Cena shoulder first into the ring steps. Cena up at the 5 count. Rodriguez tries to interfere again, and Cena posts him on one of the broken ring posts. Del Rio attacks Cena with a series of kicks back in the ring. Del Rio goes for a running kick, but Cena drop toe holds him onto Rodriguez and the broken post. Rodriguez and Del Rio fall to the outside. Cena goes to throw the ring steps at Del Rio, who ducks them and attacks Cena. He runs Cena into the stairs. He picks the stairs up and hits Cena to knock him down. Cena up at 8, and Del Rio attacks. Back and forth at ringside. They fight up the aisle towards the back. They go to the back. Cena throws Del Rio into a table. Cena pushes a large rolling case over on Del Rio, but he slides out of the way and attacks Cena. He throws Cena up on the overturned case. He scoop slams Cena on the case. Kyoto is counting Cena down. Cena makes it to his feet on the 7 count and stumbles and collapses by the interview area. Del Rio pushes the screen on Cena, then another one while Kyoto tells him not to do it and to let Kyoto count. Then another screen. Finally, the last screen falls on Cena. He's buried under 4 screens. Kyoto starts to count. Cena is trying to get out. He's up at the 8 count. Del Rio attacks him immediately. He runs Cena back into the arena. Cena fighting back with rights and lefts. Rodriguez comes in and jumps on Cena's back. Del Rio then hits Cena in the head and runs him into the V and vengeance sign and through the V. Del Rio pulls out a table and sets it up. He puts Cena on the table. Del Rio starts to climb a lighting grid. Cena gets up off of the table and pulls Del Rio off of the grid and through the table. Del Rio up on the 8 count. They start to fight through the crowd. Cena throws Del Rio back over the barricade to the ringside area. Del Rio reverses Cena into the announce table, and the announcers scatter. Del Rio starts to take apart the SAT. He gets to run Cena into it, but Cena blocks it and hits Del Rio with a back elbow. Cena then runs Del Rio into the barricade on the other side of the ring. He then clotheslines Rodriguez. Del Rio pushes Cena into a ring post and goes to hit him with an enziguri, but Cena ducks and Del Rio hits the ring post. Cena picks Del Rio up. He climbs the setup ring steps and hits the AA through the Spanish announce table. Cena gets back in the ring for Kyoto to count. R-Truth and Miz come out of nowhere and attack Cena in the broken ring. Kyoto had not started his count yet. Miz with the skull-crushing finale, and R-Truth hits Little Jimmy on Cena. Miz and R-Truth then leave. Double count going. Booker T and Jerry Lawler are irate because Del Rio should have been counted out already, but the referee's attention was distracted. Del Rio up. Cena trying to get up and gets up at 9. Del Rio hits him with the WWE Championship. Del Rio falls out of the ring. Another double count going. Del Rio pulls himself up by the barricade. Cena gets counted out. Del Rio retains the title. Del Rio celebrates and gets his hand raised. Cena looking stunned. The announcers talk about everything that happened before signing off from San Antonio. Final thoughts. This was a really enjoyable show. The ring falling apart spot was awesome. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at @TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey saying so long from stately Maine Manor.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.